Hey, what's going on everybody? It's your favorite introvert here, and today we celebrate the arrival of my new Mavic Air. This video will be from unboxing to first flight, and I will be going through the steps to activate and set up your drone. All this so we can ensure the first flight will go smoothly and result in a return to home for many more future flights. So starting off, we will go through the box that we received the drone in. As is DJI fashion, it carries an Apple-esque sense of packaging design that feels thick and protective. They really utilize every nook and cranny to make the box as small as possible for ease of transport. Unpacking though, you find all the essentials needed for a fast setup and exciting day of flying. Inside the box, you will find the drone case with drone inside. Below it are two boxes that house the accessories and assorted cables and extras. This particular kit happens to be the standard combo and not the Fly More kit. So let's start unpacking even more. Starting out, we will take a look at the transmitter, or RC as it is more commonly known. Later in this series of videos, I will have an in-depth look into this controller, but for now we can take a look at the nice, sleek design and fit of the controller. Moving on, we will open the smaller box to reveal the charger brick and associated cables. Notice this brick has two USB plugs for extra charging capabilities. Additionally, you will find a micro USB and USB-C RC cables with adapters, a spare pair of sticks for the controller, USB-C to micro USB adapter, 12-volt power cable, and USB 3.0 to USB-C charge cable. In the larger box, you will find your prop guards. And again, in an upcoming video in this series, I will be going over the installation of these guards. Also included are a spare set of props, as well as all the documentation needed to get you started. Moving into what actually matters, the DJI Mavic Air carrying case with DJI Mavic Air inside. The case is a gray 45-50-5 polyester EVA nylon blend fabric case designed to be small and portable and maximize the safety of the Mavic Air in transit. To open the case, simply unzip the single zipper to reveal your new Mavic Air. This is an absolute beauty in flame red, making it pop against the darker background. This color was not chosen by mistake, as the red is highly visible while in flight. We will discuss the many features the Mavic Air has to offer in a future installment of the Mavic Air series. For now, let's continue on with the battery charge, firmware updates, and setup. Charging the battery is as easy as attaching the intelligent flight battery to the battery charger via the port shown here. Notice one of the ends is angled to ensure proper positioning. To check the charge of the battery, click the power button once to display a charge level. Charge time ranges from 53 minutes in environments between 15 degrees to 40 degrees Celsius, or 1 hour and 40 minutes in environments at temperatures between 5 degrees to 15 degrees Celsius. The remote control charge time is 2.5 hours utilizing the USB-C to USB micro adapter. After the flight battery is fully charged, insert the battery into the Mavic Air until you hear a click and the battery is firmly in place. Activating your Mavic Air requires a few steps in order to get your drone ready to take flight. First, you will need to connect your RC and device to your Mavic Air and ensure you have an internet connection to your device. Next, we will need to open up the DJI Go 4 app and select Next to the prompt of activating your Mavic Air. The next screen will be for you to name your Mavic Air, and any name will do. Next step will be choosing which stick mode you want to fly with. Default is Mode 2. Once you have chosen your stick mode, you will choose what the preferred measurement units will be. Once that is selected, it will ask you if you want to start off in beginner mode for the Mavic Air. Beginner mode will assign a set speed at which the Mavic Air will fly and a set distance it will be allowed to travel as well. If you would not like to use beginner mode, just slide the switch to the left to cancel it. The next step will be logging into your DJI account. If you don't have an account yet, it will be necessary for you to create one. Finally, you have a chance to purchase DJI Refresh, which in the event you crash or damage your aircraft, you can return it to DJI for them to fix it at a predetermined cost. A new addition that I experienced while activating my drone was having to take the DJI Knowledge Quiz. If you are a previous owner of any DJI model, this should be familiar to you. If this is your first time experiencing these questions, don't panic. There are about 9 common sense questions that you should have no issue answering. Updating firmware can be accomplished one of 2 ways. It can be downloaded to your computer using the DJI Assistant 2 app, or it can be downloaded to your device from the DJI Go 4 app. Both ways will ensure you have the latest firmware and are both easy to use. We'll use the DJI Go 4 app from my iPad to pull the necessary updates and install to the Mavic Air. You're going to want to ensure your battery is above 50% so the firmware will fully install and not run the risk of a corrupted install, which could potentially cause your drone to have boot issues. An extra step of removing the props prior to an upgrade is always good practice, but I have never experienced motor startup when updating. Downloading firmware over the internet and Wi-Fi is easy as selecting download and install. Then you can sit back and wait for the installation to finish. Once the firmware of the Mavic Air is complete, you will get prompted to update the RC firmware, which takes no time at all. Now we have completely updated the Mavic Air and ready to get all of our settings ready for our first flight. There are many options available to configure in the menu settings, and I will go over a complete setup and configuration video in an upcoming series. For today though, I will show you what I think needs to be looked at and changed prior to your first flight. First, we will configure the return to home, max altitude, and distance our Mavic Air can travel. Please note that the max altitude allowed here in the States is 400 feet. So be aware when you're flying of your altitude if you set it to the max settings. Another important thing I think can be adjusted is the EXP or Expo. This is the sensitivity of the control sticks as you move your thumbs. These can be deadened around the center to make erratic and quick jolts to the controls less noticeable. The lower the input value, the longer the stick travel needs to be for your control movements to take place in flight. The next important step I would take for beginners is to ensure all obstacle avoidance sensors are turned on and active. This will ensure the most protection for your drone to avoid large structures and walls, but be wary of tree limbs or smaller structures and objects as the sensors have a hard time detecting them. Calibrating your drone is a quick safety check of your sensors to make sure they're aware of interference in your area. To calibrate your drone's IMU, navigate to the main controller settings, advanced settings, then sensors, and select the Calibrate IMU button and start. This will walk you through 6 directions of orientation to face in order to get an accurate calibration. Calibrating the compass is the final calibration you will do prior to flight. This can be found on the aircraft status display when you first connect to the Mavic Air. You'll need to be free and clear of objects that can cause variances to the compass, such as metal and large electrical structures and wires. The method I use to complete compass calibration is to rotate the Mavic Air 360 degrees flat against its yaw axis, and then point the nose to the ground and rotate it again 360 degrees. Just like that, we are ready for our first flight. So take the time to enjoy your Mavic Air and spend the next few flights tweaking the settings to your personality. The Mavic Air is packed full of fun and exciting tech, and I look forward to diving into more detail on upcoming videos. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope it's helped. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave them below. Give a thumbs up if you liked the video, and if you haven't subscribed, please consider doing so. Thanks for watching this video. I look forward to seeing you soon. Almost got it.